Hey guys, MCU Collector here with another figure review. Next up is the Hasbro Star Wars The Black Series, the Star Wars Celebration exclusive, which was all of a sudden in stock at Amazon and shipped out the very next day, and I got it. Sold out yesterday on Amazon as well. And will be available on Hasbro Pulse on April 22nd, I believe. But this is the Star Wars Celebration exclusive 2-pack of the Ronin and R5-D56 from Star Wars Visions. I figured it would become available on Hasbro Pulse. The Amazon drop was kind of, holy crap, like, all of a sudden, out of nowhere kind of thing. But yeah, here we go. Looking at the box, it's really cool. We get this wrap here around, so we'll just remove that. It's got some legal stuff on there, blah blah blah, whatever. But we have some beautiful artwork here on the front of the Ronin, and then if you turn to the side, you could see R5-D56. I think is what it was. I don't know what that says there, and then it just kind of wrap around, and you just have the standard artwork on there. But awesome package. It is magnetic, so it opens up, as you can see there, and then let's see how much I can fit on screen there. So beautiful looking there. We get the two figures there in the window display. The box is very unique. I don't yet know how to safely open this. I do want to keep it intact somewhat because it's just a beautiful presentation and I absolutely love the way it looks, so I want to be careful with it. There is a little bit of a bio here on the inside flap. It says the Ronin and R5-D56. This is accompanied by his droid R5-D56. The Ronin becomes an unlikely hero to a small forest village when he defends them from a Sith bandit and her crew. Now, I didn't watch every episode of Star Wars Visions, but I did watch this episode, and I think this may have been the first episode from Star Wars Visions Volume 1. I haven't seen anything from Volume 2, and Volume 3 just got announced, and it looks like there's going to be at least one episode called The Duel, which will actually have the Ronin character in there. And it was really good. I really enjoyed it, but let's go ahead and open this up somehow safely, and let's check out these figures, because this thing looks pretty incredible, and we get some things in here. We got soft goods, which isn't new to Star Wars, but a wired cloak somehow, that is new. So let's go ahead and open this up safely, and let's check out these two figures. Okay, so for you guys watching, and how to safely open this, let me raise my camera up. I didn't think it would be this easy. It literally just lifts right up, and then you could do it. And then it's got like a special box here that says R5-D56 accessories. So then I'll be able to pull these out, and that's how you do it. But very easy. It just lifts open. Thank goodness, because I want to keep once I'm done reviewing, these things are going to go back in the box, and I'd like to keep them there for presentation's sake, to keep it intact, and luckily it will. So very collector friendly. Okay, so keeping it collector friendly, it literally just pulls right out of there. It's completely intact, like so, which is just really cool that they did that. And then inside that little accessory box, you get this plastic tray, which can then be removed, so you can safely take these accessories out and put them back in, if you wanted to. So just a very nice presentation overall. Very, very pleased with the way it came out. But let's open it up now, and let's check out the figure. All right. I got him out of the package. A fantastic set. Terrible price. This thing was $70. Now, is it worth $70? Likely not. I mean, $70 is a lot. I don't know. $70 is too, let's think of it this way. A droid figure, same as like R2-D2, $25. Then a standard Black Series figure, $25. $50 set. This has a $20 markup because it's got a special box, and it's got, the wired cape and stuff like that. So maybe you consider this guy a deluxe figure. So there's your $70. I don't know. But at the same time, I'm not mad that I spent $70 on this, because this thing is nice. Really, really nice. I've already checked eBay sold listings. People are selling this thing for $150 already. So if you're looking to pick up this set, don't go to eBay yet. Wait for Hasbro Pulse April 22nd. Be quick, be fast, be ready, but April 22nd if you want to pick this up. Because you know what? This is a really nice set. Really, really nice set. I haven't messed with a whole lot of droids. I do have an R2-D2 figure. I don't think I ever really opened it up and checked him out. And this is basically the same. There's no color to it because, that particular episode was black and white. But the droid is nice. He's got all the little gadgets and things like that, which is cool. He's got this like bamboo stick thing here, and I guess you got this little grip piece to hold on to it that you could stick into the droid somehow. I haven't quite figured that out yet. But the Ronin figure, God, the Ronin figure is so nice. Really good. The wired cape in his cloak is done pretty cool the way they did it. Because you can hardly tell, like in the pictures and stuff, that it has it. But it's done quite nicely. So let's go ahead and get in for a closer look at the two figures. Then we'll take a look at the articulation and all that good stuff. Okay, so here is R5-D56. Am I saying that right? R5-D56. R5-D56. Yes, it's R5-D56. And I think this is basically your standard like R2-D2, except that the head part of, would it be a head? It's a droid. The head portion, he does have the hat on there, which is cool. And then I think we get like the typical accessory pieces on there. I think these are the jetpacks, and then we get the little flames that plug in there, so you can, you know, have his little jetpacks going on. And when you get the little tool accessories and things that kind of you can poke into him and everything like that there. But I don't exactly know how to do all that. So I got to figure that out. And then we also get like these extra like rope pieces that are wrapped around each like leg piece, and it's just done nicely. It just kind of gives that little aesthetic look to them, which is cool. We get some weathering there on the back, so you get some like dirt and grime and stuff on the back of the droid, which is cool there on the front as well. And then this middle leg, you can actually fold. This leg does come out a little bit, and then you can retract it in. I think if you remove this piece, like you can remove it, you got to kind of stretch it out, and then you can push it all the way in. So like if you want to blast off with this guy, you would push that one up underneath, or he can just kind of stand there like that if you wanted to do that. The jetpacks, I don't know how the jetpacks work. Do the jetpacks, let's see, do these come off? Is that how that works? Let's see. I feel like these need to come off for those jetpacks. Yeah, so you can pull off the side piece there, and then you can add in these jetpack pieces onto the side, like so. Wait, I wonder if that's the wrong side. Does it say left or right? It doesn't say left or right, so it looks like it's probably not going to matter. Oh, I just got to put it on better. That's the problem. So pull that other side off, and then you can put this side. Whoops, you can put this side on there, and then you can have the propulsion, like the little flames on there. So you can have R5-D56 blasting off there. So that is pretty cool that we got that there. Let's take those off, and then I got to figure out how to use these attachment pieces and like how it opens up, because I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. I don't know. This is because I don't have a whole lot of Star Wars Black Series figures, so I need to kind of get more. One cool thing about the hat, as you can see here, it's open a little bit more in there, and you could see a blue dot in there where I guess the eye camera would be for the droid, so that's how he sees through the hat. And then you can lift the head up there, and that can spin around and all that there, and then you can retract it back, and then you could spin the head around. You get the legs to go out that much, and then the feet themselves have a little bit of pivot to them in there. And then let's see, how do we open these up? I don't know. You gotta get your fingernail in there. Ooh, did I open that? Okay, so you gotta... Okay, so you can open that up. Okay, so that opens up, but it doesn't look like... I'm not really sure why it would open up, other than, just because it can in there. So you got that there, so that does that. I'm going to close that up, and then I get my fingernail in there to open this up. There's got to be another way, right? Like, I was hoping maybe you push it and it would pop open, but that is not the case. I guess I just got to get my fingernail in there to open it up. That might take me some time, so let's try that off camera. Okay, not gonna lie, that was kind of a pain in the ass. So I'm gonna show you how I did it. I actually put my thumbnail here to kind of pull that out, and then I had to dig my other nail in there to reach into this side so I can open it up. And from there, you have all these different attachment pieces, and you could just port these in. There's 3 peg holes on each side, so you can port in the tools, as needed. I don't know exactly what these tools are, what they do. but you can port them in, you know, however you see fit in there. Let's see. Port them in. I don't know if that was like a torch piece or what that piece is. And then you could do all that. So you got your different attachment pieces. And then this one, you got that one plug there that will hold on to this bamboo stick, and you could just port that in there and it grips it. So boom, you got the droid going on there. Now, one thing I haven't quite figured out is I gotta somehow get my fingernails in here to pull this third leg out, because I got it in there and I can't seem to really get it to come out. So I still have to figure that out. But fun droid, but the highlight is definitely the Ronin figure. So let's get to that. Okay, so here's an up-close look at the Ronin. That looks really good. As you can see, the way his hair is there. He's in black and white. Looks really, really good. Looking at the rest of him, he's got this belt in here. He's got a sword in there. And then he's got this long sheath, as you can see there. And I mean, he's got the lightsaber, and here's the lightsaber hilt. And that looks really good. I don't know if it's supposed to be curved. I feel like it's probably not. Does the blade come out? I'm pulling on it. The blade, I mean, the blade probably comes out. I don't know if it's really meant to come out. I did not pull it all the way out, and I don't want to pull it all the way out. I don't want to break it, like if it's supposed to be glued in there. But I like that the hilt has a very katana look to it, which is really cool. And then you get the sheath, and the sheath looks like it's made to actually store with the lightsaber turned on. Now, I would imagine, and maybe I need to watch it again, that it wouldn't be on at all times. But it's in there. It sheaths nicely, so that is really cool there. So we're going to go ahead and take that out and keep it out of the way. And then looking at the figure, so zoom out a little bit there. We got the cloak on here, so the soft goods. So the wire is down here along the bottom. As you can see, they kind of curved it out. And then you got the wire all in here. So you see where they have the threading in there? The sew line? That's where there's an additional wire. So you can have this kind of go out, go up, go around in all kinds of different ways, which is just really nice the way they did it. And then the end piece just has that tattered look on the end, so it's an extra little flap in there, so you have that tattered look all throughout, which is really cool. And then you get these pieces here in the front that can then flow in the wind whichever way you want as well, because these also have the wire in there, the bendy wire, and then you have, you know, the tatteredness in there as well. So really like the way they did that. Just really came out nice. Now the figure itself, it's just kind of black and white, so you got, you know, really grayscale in there. But it's got this wash over the whole thing, which is just really nice to bring out some of the details. So where it's not just an ugly, like, flat, dark gray color. There's a darker wash that's in it that just makes it really, like, stand out and look very realistic and very, like, raw and real. So that is really cool. I don't know if I'm describing that the best way, but it does add some realism to it and just helps make it stand out a little bit better. Now the back of the legs, as you can see, did not get any of the paint, so you can see where that would not be as good. Why did they do... Oh, this is dumb. Why would they put this this label on there just because it's soft goods? Like, they've never done that before, right? I mean, the good thing it's hidden, but that's just weird. But yeah, that wash looks really good there in the front, and you can see it all throughout the figure. Now, there is a plastic part here, and it looks like it just kind of loops around, so you could take this off if you wanted to. I didn't realize that at first, so let's go ahead and remove this, and we'll take a look at the Ronin figure on its own. Well, let's see, how easily can we take this off? I mean, that armhole is only so big, and then this sleeve really flares out. Let's see. I want to be careful. I don't want to overdo it. Obviously, I don't want to damage it in any way, you know what I mean? Like, this is a $70 figure set. Like, I want to be very, very careful. You can kind of stretch it out, I guess, or just be strategic in the way you take it off. So there is that there. So you can take the cloak off, and then here you can still have your Ronin figure, and it still looks pretty good. So not too shabby. Again, no real paint on the back there, but the front of the legs get that nice wash, and then the sleeves and the arms, and then the front gets a nice wash in there too. So that is really good. So we're gonna go ahead and do the articulation setup like this without the cloak, because it'll just be easier. Okay, so let's take a look at the articulation for the Ronin. So he can look up that much there, not a whole lot. He can look down that much there. The neck, it does have a little bit of pivot motion to kind of lean forward, but not a whole lot. And you can kind of lean to the side a little bit so you can get some pivot going on in there, and then full rotation in there. The arm you can get to go straight on out like so. You can do a full rotation in there. There is a little bit of a butterfly joint, so you can get the arm to go back somewhat, and then you can get it forward a little bit. It feels like a rubber overlay on that upper torso, by the way. You can't do a whole lot of cross body, unfortunately. You have a single jointed elbow with a swivel at the elbow, so you can do just about a 90-degree bend there at the elbow. You get these really wide sleeves in here, and the way they do this wrist arm part, you actually get one on a ball joint, so you could kind of swivel around that arm and move it up and down a little bit, which is pretty cool. The wrists swivel, and they have a vertical hinge on there because they are both a grip hand for the lightsaber, and again, ball joint for both arms. Let's see, can you pop these off? Yeah, you can pop them off a little bit. As you can see, ball joint there for the little bit of that arm. It looks like a very robotic arm, by the way, so that's interesting. I guess by looking at his face, you can kind of get that same idea in there, which I didn't really think about until now. Duh, silly me. Swivel at that waist, and it's a ball joint, so you can actually tilt him to the left a little bit. It's not a whole lot, but you can get some tilt in there, and then tilt to the right, as you can see there, a little bit more. It looks a little bit better. Can't really lean him back, unfortunately, and you can't really lean forward a whole lot, which is kind of tough. You get a swivel at that waist. It is a little bit difficult. Legs go out that far apart. He can kick forward that far there, which is good. The leg goes back a little bit of ways, as you can see there. There's no thigh swivel, but you can get a little bit of turn at that thigh. But you get a single jointed knee, which has a swivel at the knee and a bend at about 90 degrees in there. And then with Star Wars Black Series, you know, we get a lot of single joints. And I think, you know, when you have really baggy arms, really baggy pants, the single joint is really the best way to go. When they have like regular size, you know, pant legs and stuff like that, and they do single joints, I'm not a big fan, but I think that works here. You get a swivel at that leg inside the pant leg, which is really nice touch. Foot hinges all the way down. You get some hinge up in there, and then you have ankle pivot, and you have peg holes at the bottom of the feet over by the toes. So pretty good articulation for the Ronin. I do wish that that waist had a little bit better movement. It's very stiff in there, so I wish it was a little bit more loose, but some decent articulation in here for the Ronin. Oh, by the way, like here's that tag. I guess it's filling all new materials, iron wire, PVC coating, and caps. Like, why did we get this? I'm not going to throw this in the washer, by the way. It actually says to surface clean only, so don't throw it in the laundry. So don't do it. Bad idea. One thing that I did forget to mention in here is the lightsaber hilt. You can remove it, and you can see it has a little peg there, and there's a little peg hole on his waist in there, so you could peg this in place so it doesn't, like, you know, roam around or fall out too much or anything like that, so it'll hold it in place. One thing that Hasbro never does is they never give like an extra set of hands when it comes to Star Wars Black Series. I wish that was a thing, but it's just not something that they do. But getting this guy, I mean, the grip hand on the other side, it ends up looking weird, so that's why other hands would be really cool. But this guy is just a whole lot of fun. Now, I'm not the best when it comes to posing around and things like that, especially trying to incorporate, you know, a wired cape and you know, how, you know, to get it to flow in the wind, and does it really look like it makes sense, because I'm just not. That's just not my strong suit by any means. But, you know, the little bit that I try, I do have a whole lot of fun with this guy. I'm really glad that Star Wars made this. I don't know if he'll get a single release somewhere down the line. Maybe he will. They do it probably as a deluxe release, and it's like, you look at the single figure, like, does it make sense? I don't know. Maybe they do it without the cloak, or maybe they do a rubber one. I don't know. Or maybe this is literally the only way to get it is in the Star Wars Celebration pack. Hopefully that would not be the case, but even if it is, I feel at least that I'm fortunate enough that I was able to get in on that Amazon order while it was in stock, because it's just, it's an absolutely awesome set, and I think any Star Wars fan, if you liked Star Wars Visions, if you were a fan of it, I think this is a must pick up. If you're a Star Wars Black Series collector, this is probably a must pick up. It's just a whole lot of fun. The droid is whatever. I don't really care about the droid, to be completely honest with you guys. But the Ronin figure, man, he's just a whole lot of fun. He just came out really, 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 really nice. Okay, so you guys let me know down in the comments below, what do you think of this Ronin and R5-D56, this Star Wars Celebration exclusive 2-pack? Were you fortunate enough to get in on the Amazon orders, or will you be looking out for the Hasbro Pulse drop on April 22nd? Good luck to all those that are trying to get it that missed out on the Amazon, but be ready, April 22nd, Hasbro Pulse. You should, hopefully there's a lot of quantities available. I don't know, but be ready for it. I don't know what time, probably 10 a.m., but just be ready all day if you possibly can. I know that's not realistic, you know, because people gotta work, but hopefully you guys can get in on it. He does have some trouble holding the lightsaber in his left hand. I just kind of squeezed it a little bit so he has better grip. But other than that, I think it's a really good set. Hopefully you guys like it. Hopefully you're able to get it. Let me know what you guys think of it down in the comments below. If you guys like this video, please do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe if you haven't already done so, and as always, thank you for watching.